First one. Do these monsters have runes on them? Tractor has runes. Lulu and Friends has runes. Windy has runes. We have our damage artifact here, and not our fire tank artifact. Field that real quick. Nobody's arguing with me calling a tag. This is going to take a little while. It's a bit of a slower offense, but it's my favorite offense in the whole world. So very exciting. Praha used skill 2, which means that we can buff. And I'll just keep immunity on my Lulu so I never get defense broken. And we're just gonna keep hitting Praha until she goes away. That's our strategy. I feel like most people I see using this offense like target the Carcano because everybody feels like they have to kill Carcano first, but it's just not true. Like, Windy tanks Carcano forever. You don't have to kill him. So you just kill their healer and that makes the fight go faster. Because like this can be a 5-minute offense or a 15-minute offense, and that's just up to how you decide to play it. We're going for the 5-minute option. Similarly, in the Molly version of these teams, I've started targeting the Molly first. Just because we're so tanky that, like, we're not going to die. So all we have to do is try to kill them faster. Tractor and Windy. I just showed the runes before I went into this. They're both very tanky. I can show you after. Also, you could go to my YouTube, see them there. So many options to see the runes. Exclamation point YT if you want to go watch my past sieges. Or if you have to leave early and you want to watch this siege in like a couple days from now. I don't know why I just cleansed that. I saw debuffs and my Summoner's War brain was like, I have a cleanser, my monster has debuffs, I should cleanse the debuffs, but it's not like they were gonna kill me or anything. Probably should have just saved the immunity for my Lulu there. Yeah, I'll show the Tractor and Windy builds after this. For sure. But they're both very tanky. Windy's tankier than Tractor is. They're also both at tick 6 if you are familiar with speed tuning by speed ticks, or you could call them like 226 speed about. So they're probably faster than most of the ones you've seen before, but otherwise they're nothing too special. My Tractor's on tank and not on crit damage. I used to have a crit damage Tractor. I decided to change it. They both have good additional damage on artifacts. Yeah, the beauty of this team is that it's just so tanky. Like, you just don't even come close to dying, ever. I know that there's some people who are impatient and they don't like waiting for this team to win, but how safe does that feel? Like, at any point, did it feel like I wasn't just going to win for free? No. Okay, Malite. Looks like this. Has fire and wind damage reduction. Is on destroy runes. Lulu. Same one you just saw. We have water and wind reduction. My Vigor looks like this. We're putting him on a heavy wind reduction. He's on destroy runes. He's very tanky, and he's probably slower than you'd expect him to be, but I like to be tanky. So, let's do this. Sets on them. Tractor and Windy both on destroy, and Tractor does have one revenge set. But the question here is always, how hard does the Triana hit? That's always the thing you need to be paying attention to. Because Triana damages very wildly, depending on build. Also, I'm gonna kill the Vigor first. I just don't really kill Carcanos first these days. Typically, if something on this defense is gonna have Destroy Runes on it, it's gonna be that Vigor, and maybe also like the Triana or something. So I find that if I just kill the Vigor first, you know, just kind of, you gotta destroy him before he destroys you, you know? Carcano's on Destroy, because we see our Malite taking a bunch of destroyed HP there. I don't think I'm too concerned about that, though. At skill 1, I think the defense break goes on Malite. So he's provoked. I think I'm gonna not let Malite get defense broken here. Play a little bit safe. Oh, we just broke out of that defense break. Nice, now we get immunity. Is CVT still a thing on global? Yeah, some guilds still run it. Some guilds have some scary builds for it, like full damage Trianas and stuff. They can really catch you off guard sometimes. Aw, almost got him. Oh yeah, and this particular guild ran it in every tower in the tournament, both 4 and 5 star. Ouch. Yeah, there's definitely some destroy action on this defense. Usually, that doesn't matter. Usually, we just win anyway. Although, it would have been nice if we had killed his Vigor, like, you know, 45 seconds ago, when we had a chance. Now we have to get through the Triana passive again, which we can do right here. Okay, stop proccing. Don't you do it. Do we get speed buff here? No, we just do damage here. Ooh, that was scary. Breath held for that one. So this Triana hits really hard. Which means that we're going to kill the Triana second, because the Triana is more of a threat to us than the Carcano is. Gonna pass it for the 3rd time. Can we actually kill it now, please? Hooray, we did it. Nice. So there was one scary moment in this fight. But I think we're going to be okay. Triana's clearly the threat here, so we're killing Triana next. Carcano just... like, everyone builds Carcano's tanky now, so Carcano never kills your wind tanks, is my recent experience in G3 Siege. Cool, we probably should have killed the Triana first. It took me until that turn where my Vigor almost died to realize that she crit me for over 14,000 damage on defense break, which is a really high amount of damage. Would not surprise me if there's a attack percent rune involved, but you could do that on speed crit damage HP. We're the slowest. All of our guildies are faster. Fairly standard stuff. There's a Ciara. And there's an Elucia. And there's a Triana. And Triana has big fire damage reduction. Not that that's super relevant in this particular one. But basically, we're going to put the Praha to sleep. And then we're just going to throw bombs at the other monsters until they explode. Okay. Have a nice first turn. He's pretty fast. This is not a slow defense here. Let's see if we can freeze this. Why not? Lancing. That's fine. More bombs over there. Don't want Carcano to be shooting us. Do the old sniper no sniping. I really hope we move ahead of that Praha. Do we move ahead of that Praha? We're just gonna detonate just in case. Don't want to let her heal the Carcano. We do move ahead, so we'll go ahead and freeze her. Resistance? Well, I never. That's quite rude, by the way. Resisting my bombs too? This is ridiculous. This is outrageous. We're not gonna be able to kill the Carcano before he gets a turn. There goes our Triana passive. Still okay. Get some damage here. We even got a freeze. That's premium. Kind of feel like I can bomb the Tyrannus and skill 1 the Carcano. But we're not going to bother risking that. And I'm going to detonate. I don't want to give him the chance to defense break me, because even when he's frozen, he'll still defense break. And I don't want to let him get a defense buff skill 2 on my defense broken water monster on the turn that my Triana doesn't have passive. And that's why we were detonating Carcano. Goodbye. I usually don't like to detonate my bombs ever. I'm greedy. I want the attack bar. I want maximum value. Hey, we got a sleep. Actually gonna upgrade that to a 2-turn sleep. I don't remember if she was on despair or not, but I don't want her to have a turn right now. And if that bomb had landed, I would have detonated it and woken her up, because it wouldn't matter when it's 3-on-1. But we're looking pretty good here. I think we'll be okay. And my Sierra really has no additional damage at all. Just kill the druid. Felt like it would be more efficient use of my damage to bomb the Praha, but the fight just ends when the druid's dead, so. Hooray, we did it. Why do I even waste my time thinking when I already know what the answer is? Is there anything that this team can't do? We got Tractor. We got Lulu and friends. We got Windy. I mean, like, what's he gonna do? Put me to sleep for 1 turn and then not be able to kill me because I'm too tanky? 16% wind, that could be better, but I think we'll be okay. Tractor Lulu Windy, ladies and gentlemen. If you don't need to win fast, but you just need to win, you should look into a Tractor Lulu Windy near you. We're killing Celia first, because she's going to be sleeping us like every turn. We actually are going to buff here, because we want to have so many buffs that Celia doesn't remove the immunity, and she'll remove something else instead. The 2 ways to fight Celia are either have no buffs or have way too many buffs for her to deal with, because she can only deal with 1 buff. Alright, she got the right buff that time. Lucky. Can't believe Celia's so lucky. V-Styles tried to post a link. Nice try. Better luck next time. Here I don't think I buff, because if I buff here, then I'm just going to get a monster put to sleep. That was not a link. Oh, you just typed a period in the middle of a word. I'm sorry, my robot it tries to be helpful, but it's not that smart. Alright, don't hit me for 15,000, please. Okay, this is low damage Triana. Low damage Triana is good news for us. Celia does a bit more damage here, but not enough to make us really start to get worried. Alright, I'm buffing. We're doing it. I'm not afraid. Oh, it's violent. Okay. We will remember that it's violent. type your username, it counts as a link? That's strange. Xerix is only hitting SSA for some reason. I mean, there's a perfectly good reason. People want to practice against stronger defenses. He hit my defense? Oh, never mind. He must have a different reason then. If you want to practice against strong defenses, you don't hit me. Message deleted? Oh my gosh. How could that have happened? I didn't do it, and I don't have any moderators. That's a mystery. I killed Carcano first because it seemed like it would be easier. The Triana wasn't doing damage, so we didn't have to focus her. How much mana do I waste to change runes between multiple offenses? 0. Not a single mana is wasted. It is, however, used. And I don't know, I spend like 6 million mana per siege or something, and then I farm it back in 2 days, and I'm ready for the next one. And my mana goes up over time. Alright, this is a bit of a risky offense, I will say, but it worked for us last time. So we're gonna try to do it again. Got some damage on these monsters, and we're going to try and kill this defense. How much damage do we do? That's a lot of damage, so we get to try and stun the Kaki, because we don't actually need the Garo's damage for the Ciara here. We land the stun on Kaki. We lap him with our Rauk. We get the defense break. Everything goes our way. And there's just no problems at all. You'll love to see it. Okay, I suppose I can hit it then. Martina looks like that. China's like that. And Triana is tanky, because that's the only Triana build I have right now. So I think we just need to kill Jaeger, and then kill him again and again and again, is our plan. Yeah, I wish I had a light damage reduction. How much damage does this do? Solid damage. But I don't want to give him passive stacks, really. We can target something else here. I just gave him passive stacks. I wonder if he has those when he revives. I don't know. I resisted my sleep. That's mean. I feel like I don't use my Martina Shina very much anymore these days. Feels nice to have a defense that I'm comfortable with it against. Because I don't really like it against Carcano stuff. But that worked pretty well, so we gotta win against the Jaeger defense. We got Tractor. We got Lulu. What a surprise, we also have Windy. This is our master plan, to use the same boring offense 4 times and make everybody not watch the YouTube video later because of how slow and boring it's going to be. So I'm going for the Molly, because that's how we end this fight as quickly as possible. If at some point we start to feel like he's doing too much damage to us, then we'll start trying to kill his damage dealers. That's like an okay amount of damage, I guess. Can I slow down the Tyrannus? Deny some turns. Nice. Okay, so he's doing decent damage. I feel like we should switch targets to damage dealers at some point. Doesn't it take forever? Yes, it does take forever. Yeah, I'll start punching his Carcano when it's not in stance. Slow on him. He's not on destroy runes though. So at least we're not worried about that happening. So our focus of destruction is Molly, and then we're going to be trying to stun Carcano, I think is our plan now. But yeah, settle in. Feel free to get yourself a beverage. This is not going to be over very quickly. Your defense is in Tower 2. Yeah, I don't think we're going to get there. And also, no disrespect, but I kind of want to try and hit RNGesus 10 times. Just to get my practice against the better rune defenses. Let's see. So Tyrannus is moving next, and Tyrannus might attack our Lulu. So we don't want Lulu to get defense broken, and Tyrannus is moving before Carcano, so we need immunity on our Lulu this turn, in case this exact thing happens, because now, never mind, Violent Proc changes things. If he hadn't Violent Proc though, Carcano would have tried to defense break Lulu, and if we let Lulu get defense broken into Tyrannus damage with, like, you know, 2 Violent Procs, that's how we can possibly lose this. So just a bit of trying to play smart, even though you're probably feeling like you just want to get this over with because it takes forever. You kind of have to pay attention the whole time. I don't have to put up immunity here because no matter which of my allies I heal, the other one will still be lower health than my monster that can be defense broken. This tractor build, he's tanky. I can show him after. I also showed him before, and he's also in my YouTube videos. You have many options to see my tractor. I'll show him to you after the match, though. Anybody got time for tractors? I got time for winning, okay? I don't really particularly care how long it takes. Feels good to win. Also, I've got a Twitch chat to keep me company while I do these offenses, you know? Most people could just be bored, but I have you guys. You guys can entertain me while I punch this Molly in the face several hundred times. Okay, now's a crucial moment because now he's in bear form with defense buff. So this is the point where he's going to do most of his damage. But getting immunity on my entire team is going to go a long way towards preventing that from being too bad for us. It's just now is the time that we absolutely cannot be defense broken on our Lulu. Or else we'll just lose. Do we go for the kill here? I think we're going to go in for the kill because he just used revive. If I heal, will I be lowest health? I don't think I need to, and also I want to save in case he like double violent procs and puts all the damage on my Lulu on that turn right there. I want the big mega heal with my skill 2 for Lulu's next turn. That shield's gonna be pretty small because the shield is proportional to her current max HP. So Molly's shield, you usually see it and you're like, can't attack that monster for 3 turns. But once you've destroyed Molly's HP, the shield is actually really small and you can just punch through it. Which is another reason why we target her first, is so that she can't put like a really big shield on her allies either. Just makes the fight go a lot faster. Destroy runes are on Tractor and Windy. Alright, now I just want to slow on the Reviver, I think. So Tractor's lower health than Lulu. It looks like there's a sliver missing there, so I don't need to put up immunity. But I'm going to do it anyway in case my eyeballs are wrong, because I have full team immunity next turn regardless. Just a little paranoia there. Never hurt anybody, just made the fight take one turn longer. Wow, so bear form with defense buff, skill 2 doesn't even break my windy shield on that tractor. That's good to keep in mind. Oh, hey Fairy, how's it going? OP RTA streamer, Fairy lol. So I'll also mention, while I have all this time to fill, that typically, even if this defense is on destroy runes, the windy shields really do a great job of preventing you from getting destroyed. So you usually end up destroying him before he destroys you. Is this fully destroyed now? I think it is. Maybe we should target something else. Not sure. P-dub-dub. Prestige Worldwide. Hello, Gildy. Thank you for your Prime subscription. Alright, Molly's back. I don't think if I skill 1, I'd kill her, so I'm gonna get my buffs up. Yeah, I would have killed her. Just 3 more hours. Yeah, the Molly is the slowest team to kill for sure. That's being mean. I'm gonna have to fast forward this part for the YouTube video, I think. Because even I don't know if I'm sadistic enough to make them watch through this entire fight. Although everyone skips through Siege YouTube videos anyway. The average watch time on my YouTube videos is like 1/3 of the total length of the video. That's their loss, because I say so many valuable things during the middle of the fight that they're not hearing. Win is a win, that's my philosophy. I don't have Swift sets, I don't have runes on my Nat 5s, so I just gotta win slow with my free-to-play stuff. Okay. Tractor. Lulu. Windy. Why am I showing you the same runes for the 4th time in this siege? I don't know. Quickly changing runes. I'd be interested to see what kind of rune build lets this defense beat this offense. Yeah, he's doing less damage than the other one. At least his Carcano is hitting for less than the last Carcano we fought. Means this time maybe we can just funnel Molly. You ruin Howdy's win rate, or are you a contributor? Being told your runes hit different in a bad way? That's not necessarily true. He could be a tank build. I mean, just because it's worse against my particular offense doesn't mean it's a worse build. I mean, a lot of people don't use this offense. A lot of people are using, like, Lycas. Everyone tells me to use Lyca against this defense. And if he's, like, a tank build and he can tank a Lyca, then he's probably better off against Lyca defenses or offenses, He also has destroy runes. The last guy didn't have destroy runes. We'll see how much he's able to destroy me throughout this battle. Imagine trying to cleave and it survives. I've had a Savannah tank my Lyca forever until I lost a match once. A super tanky Savannah. Yeah, we don't want him to punch the guy. We want to hit this. Actually, we should have hit Carcano there probably. No, not really. There's actually a good reason to not be stunning Carcano here. And that's that Carcano is giving us a shield every time he attacks our Windy. And the shield that Carcano is giving us prevents the destroyed HP. Somewhat. I mean, if we move ahead of the thing, then it's not going to do anything. But in general, sometimes not stunning the Carcano actually benefits us, because that's what allows us to get our shield. You haven't used Leica since the Kamun Odin Savannah days? Kamun Orion Savannah. Best dungeon to farm for Siege? Violent. So dragons. Like, maybe you could say for Siege offense that, like, Necro is more important, because Will Runes and Destroy Runes are both really good for Siege offense. But, like, you should not be focusing only on Siege offense. You can hit this one more time. Don't die. Okay. Now we finish it. Malite soloed Carc Vigor Triana today. Nice. Hey, don't proc. What do we do here? We put immunity on ourselves so that we can't get defense broken and then slaughtered by a bear. Why did we just stack him? That was dumb. I was thinking I should hit the one that I can put a slow debuff on, but we ended up giving him stacks on his passive. It's okay. He's not wanting to use skill 2 anyway, it seems like. He doesn't use skill 2 until after the defense buff falls off. There's something wrong with your Tyrannus, sir. You should train him better. Yeah, there's a skill 2. Ouch. Hooray, we did it. And now, I'm very sorry to report to you guys that I'm out of tractors and Lulus and Windies. Garo and you, and this one. Alright, second Garo. We've got Vertihile. We've got Rauk. And this should be okay, I think. I think this is okay. Celia doesn't do that much to these. And unless he's changed his runes, we remember that the Celia was on Violent since we hit this defense earlier in the Siege already. That is super tanky, wow. Change of plans, going for the stun. Maybe I could have killed that. I could have killed that if I had known that my Rauk was going to move twice. It's okay. His whole team's low damage. We're going to be fine. But don't proc. What? Full team sleep? Since when does that happen? He actually cut us there. I'm impressed. All right. Up next, we kill... He was super tanky, so I'm going to go for this one next. But honestly, since when have you seen Celia full team sleep? Are there any Celia owners in the chat? Can you confirm that she's not actually supposed to sleep the entire team? Has any Celia owner ever seen her do that before? Anyways, like, so this is the second time that I fought this defense in this siege. The reason that I'm not freaking out is because I know that this Triana was a 0 damage Triana. I know that even the Celia did not do very much damage to me last time I fought it. So the Carcano being tank basically meant that none of those monsters really do much damage, which is why I felt confident using this offense, because I knew that the Celia was violent, so I knew she couldn't outspeed me. I knew that they were built pretty tanky, and they didn't do much damage last time I fought them in this siege. So I would not have used that offense without the prior information. You can see that I hit this twice, but has lost in the past. So we've got Rika, we got Rakuni, we got Sion, and should be okay. It's usually okay. I'm just gonna go in. Why not? That Rakuni is super slow. You're correct. All right. The enemy team has had a terrible showing turn 1. That defense break could be a problem, but we'll see. Land all of our bombs and all of our stuns? None of our stuns. But we did land all of our bombs. Okay, a violent proc right there could have killed us. Because if he violent procs and he gets the endure buff for when the bomb explodes, that's how we lose. That didn't happen. We're just going to put on more dots. That bomb's going to explode and he's going to burn to death. There. We did it. 10 wins.